We are live on Friday Night Hangouts. I am the Evil DM, and sitting with me this week is my guest and probably permanent host, co-host, DM Nick from Roll for Initiative. Nick, how you doing?
I am doing fine, Vince. How you doing, buddy?
Good. Long time no speak here on
Yeah,
shows and everything.
yeah.
Wow. Finally
It's
got you
been a while.
dragged you back in, kicking and screaming.
I think I contacted you.
That's true. You're like, I'm ready to do a show again. I'm like, okay. That's
Pretty
cool.
much. Pretty much. I thought it was what was it? Early it was like early December. Yeah, it was sometime in December, right? It's like
Yeah.
I'm getting the bug, Life's calmed down for me here. Everything's all squared away at home. And I'm like, you know what? I got to get back into this thing. So I reached out to you, and you're like, "Don't touch me that way." I mean, uh,
Whoa.
but and you're like, "Yeah, we'll do it sometime." And well, get together after the holiday season, and who would have known we would have such an interesting topic to talk about tonight?
I know. I mean, we have a whole lot to talk about, but
A
we
plethora.
We won't get into any of it. Yeah, a plethora. We won't get into that right now because we're just waiting for everybody to start showing up. It usually
Yep.
takes a few moments after you go live for the little announcements to go out and people to kind of see it and decide, do
Right.
I really want to go or not? Or
Mm,
you know how it is.
oh, sure. No. No. I
Definitely
mean,
no.
it's a definite maybe. I did actually put the word out to some of my coworkers who are gamers that was going to be on tonight, so we might see them in the chat. So hopefully we'll see a few folks there. If I guess I should have the YouTube open, shouldn't I?
The YouTube. Yes, you should have the
I have the
YouTube.
YouTube open. So
You
I'm
can
like,
actually, if you can actually look to the right of the screen, you'll see all the comments if people actually say anything. It'll be right here on screen
oh
for
right,
you.
yeah, okay, so it is there from the
Yeah.
chat and from the YouTube, as my dad would say.
The
I'm
YouTube.
on the YouTube.
The old man's on the YouTube.
Yes, actually, he loves it because of all the. He's a big film noir fan,
Mhm.
and so there's quite a few films of that genre that are free on YouTube. He's like, "Oh my god, this is amazing." He was a bit of a luddite before coming on to stuff like that, but he really likes his Kindle Fire because he can make the font bigger. And yeah, film noir fan. So I'm like, Dad, let me introduce you to a little film called Blade Runner.
Oh,
And we watched that one night. He's like, wow, that is really good. I'm not really into science fiction, but boy, you were right. It's an homage to film noir. Spot on. I'm like, heck yeah.
I was kinda seeing this just kinda poking around, and I see the Hasbro stock went back up again.
Yeah.
It only dropped a couple, maybe couple cents.
I I didn't expect a huge dip,
Yeah.
but we'll get into that where they probably got the message as far as people aren't happy from what they heard. So,
Well, hopefully Hasbro will listen, but who knows what Hasbro, so
well, we did see that they did have a statement released today. So,
Oh, they actually released it. Did they release
yeah,
a statement today?
yes, they did. Yes.
Oh, I might as well check Twitter then.
It's on D&D Beyond, an update on the open gaming license. I do have that up.
Alright, let me grab that on screen here, so could you send me the link for that in the private chat here?
You betcha. All right. Yeah, this was about 8
Oh, I
hours
see,
ago.
it's right in the front page, there it is, an
There
update
you
about the
go.
open game. Okay.
Yeah, this is oh, here we go. We got some folks showing up. Hey,
Brian Montgomery, how you doing? Welcome to the stream.
Mr. Montgomery. Hello.
Hello.
Jolly good.
Alright, so now that some people are finally trickling in and we're seeing a
Hmm.
couple people, there's about 6 people viewing according to YouTube, but I don't know if they're
Let's say,
actual people.
oh, here we go. I drink, therefore I am.
Good evening.
I like that. Good evening. I don't drink wine. I drink scotch. Oh,
Looks like
ah,
looks like DM Nick brings all the boys to the yard.
I have that way. It's my way. You know that.
So
So,
all we need now is to somehow convince Matt to join us, and we can have an RFI reunion.
oh, that would be glorious. We're getting the band back together, man. Oh, kind of a side note. Sad news. Guitar god Jeff Beck passed away.
Oh,
Yeah. Just a couple of days ago. I play a little bass guitar. I got one back there. But yeah, heard about that. It was a couple of days ago. He had bacterial meningitis. Um, um, and another death was uh, Lisa Marie Presley died
yeah.
yesterday.
She
I'm
tried
like,
drug
she had a heart
overdose.
attack?
Drug overdose.
Oh, they confirmed it was she OD'd.
Died just like
Okay.
her father did.
Oh, well, I'm no, okay.
All
No,
right.
she didn't die on the toilet and fall over. Remember that whole thing with her and Michael Jackson? Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Nah,
That
yeah,
was
nah.
just what people do for people do for publicity.
Publicity. Yeah, there
Yeah,
we go.
there we
That's
go.
the
I
word
got
we
it
were
out.
looking for.
I swear to God, I've only had 2 tonight. So
Well, everybody that's in the chat, we want you to hit that or smash that like button for us, just so the video gets some good likes. That's all I'm
lick the
asking.
like button.
What? Wait, what? Lick the like button? What?
Lick the like button. Tastes like pepperoni.
Not sure if
No,
that's
okay,
how it
maybe not.
works, Nick. I'm not
Okay,
sure.
okay, maybe not. Vince is now thinking, I don't know if this was such a good idea.
Mm. No, like I said, all we gotta do is we just gotta wrangle Matt in here. If we can wrangle Matt in here, we got
Oh,
our
that would
RFI
be great.
reunion, and then
We'll strong arm him to coming back.
well, I
Peer
mean,
pressure.
there's so many podcast ideas we can do.
Oh yeah.
We have the Marvel podcast we can all do again
Hmm.
together. We
Yep.
have the Dead Palladium idea podcast we were gonna do.
Yep. Which
So
probably will be gaining some momentum. Palladium, who knows?
I don't know. I saw that Kevin extended his Christmas package another couple
Yeah,
of weeks, so or another couple
yeah,
of days.
yeah.
So he was smart to do that just to see if people will get the surprise package or not.
Hmm. Hmm. I for Christmas I got myself. Well, I have it right here. I got this old school
Old school essential.
essentials.
Yeah. How is it?
Um, I'm digging it. I really like it. I got, of course, the advanced fantasy version.
Yeah, of course.
Um, Beautiful book. I got both players book and the referees book and the and where is it? This GM screen. I love this thing. This GM screen is beautiful. I mean, and it's heavy duty. I mean,
Oh yeah, that's definitely heavy duty.
it was worth it. And because everybody was raging about it, how um, just how concise
Hmm.
and complete it is. I mean, all the descriptions, like for all the character classes, 2 pages, each class, 2 pages. The races, 2 pages, right there.
So
Boom, boom, boom.
Drink is saying, I'll put his comment up here so we can read it for everybody.
Ah, okay.
So I found this group recently from the Heroes Unlimited podcast that I'm about 5 episodes into, and I'm getting back into playing after 20 years hiatus. Oh, cool.
Cool.
You found mine for the Roll Higher Die you're talking about, or you just found the group?
Hmm.
I don't know.
I was just thinking about Palladium too. It's like,
I love it. I don't care. I love Palladium.
right.
I go into Palladium knowing that I have to fix things, and obviously you know that too, playing
Yeah.
rifts and everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
with Palladium, you have to fix things. And once I know that, it's just like, all right, I can do whatever I want. I grew
Mm,
up playing an edition where we both learned that, here's the book. Woof, who cares?
right. And Palladium was so close to D&D at that time that, going from D&D to playing Palladium was like, I mean, it wasn't hard. So, I was just thinking like they're the Palladium fantasy RPG, not necessarily the Palladium megaverse itself, but I'm kind of thinking of going back to trying the Palladium fantasy RPG sometime with my group.
See what? Just to answer he was talking about the Palladium Megaverse, the one I have. We
Mhm.
actually renamed it to Beyond Earths. Okay, cool. Beyond Earths, because people were getting it confused with other things, and so someone recommended we rebrand it.
Oh, Malaquin here.
Holy crap!
Really?
Wow. Yes, yes, have watched many of his podcasts on YouTube many years. He's
So written several books, huh?
hmm Oh
Very
yeah,
cool.
tons of videos on my channel of Palladium. I love doing Palladium. I love playing Palladium. Nick, you should look into Palladium Fantasy 1E since you like playing AD&D.
Yeah, I have the core Palladium fantasy book on my shelf and Carmen Bel Air. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you were saying?
Oh, I just Malaquin with their real name there.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely have to look it up there. What was the some of the stuff you wrote, Malaquin?
Good morning from
From
Vietnam.
Vietnam. Okay, hey, was it Cornelius Prax? I probably
Mhm.
butchered the hell out of that, but
Well, I see that Jeff is here finally. He got his issues done, so we're gonna bring him in.
his issues.
The Jeff is here. Jeff, how are you doing?
Hi, Jeff.
We don't hear you, Jeff.
You're muted.
Yeah, you're muted somewhere.
Yeah, I caught that.
Well, we'll put him back in the background until he figures out what's going on.
Okay,
You
that's
like my
okay.
take on Palladium? Oh, I appreciate that's some praise for coming from you.
Oh, you did the splicers thing. Oh, a
Mhm.
lot of wrist stuff. I got, jeez. I have practically have a whole like a third of my row of a shelf with wrist stuff.
Too. I've been trying to get into splicers, and I would love to jump into a game of someone else running a game of splicers just to see
Mhm.
how it is.
Hmm.
Because I've never run that game, and I like to like sit in games before I run them just to see how
Yeah,
another GM does it. I like to experience the game, from a player side. So,
sure. You kind of get a better feel for it, I think, to just jumping in. It's a good cautionary way of doing it, I think.
mhm.
And that's how I kind of work it too. Like if I ever go to a con, there's a game I've heard about. Just say, I'll just watch you guys. Maybe I'll get in the game later on. I just want to see how it plays out.
Yeah, you remember that we used to do that. If people were playing a game, we would kind of just hover in the background, and we'd
Mhm.
be like, "Hmm," and they'd be like, "You want to play?" We're like, "No, no, no.
No,
I just
no,
want
no,
to,
no, I'm good.
just want to watch. I need to get an idea how this game runs."
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
Except now you go on YouTube and you can watch people scriptly play things.
I don't. Mm, uh, if that's your thing, fine. I don't necessarily. There are some that are non-scripted that I've watched that are pretty good. There was one for Delta Green. The spin-off for modern day Call of Cthulhu.
Hmm.
There was a
Oh
pot,
yeah, that's right. Yeah. Hmm.
yeah, podcast called Get in the Trunk, and really good um, episodic show on that campaign. It was really fun, but I don't know. It all depends. I don't know. I mean, people pay to watch some of that stuff. Some places, I guess.
I guess. I don't know. We'll get into things in just a little bit, folks. I'm just waiting a few minutes for people to get here because we're only what a couple of minutes in here,
Yeah,
and
we're
Jeff
only
is
about 15 minutes in.
yeah, and the Jeff is still having issues, so he's got another
Doing the
couple minutes to figure it out. Otherwise, I'm just going to kick him out. That's all.
doing the Jeff.
Doing the
Jeff.
Jeff. That's just gross.
That's just gross. Okay. Thanks.
So, Nick, tell everybody here what the hell you've been doing.
Oh, since we've done RFI, so that was 2019. Well, the virus of unknown origin popped up that next year. Um, China. Excuse me. Shh.
We don't talk about that.
They're listening.
They're listening.
Let's see. So it was 2020. I had my dad move in with us in 2021. So he's was it 2021? Yeah. And this yeah, the wife says hi.
Hi.
She
Hi, Mrs.
couldn't
Nick.
resist.
Hi, Mrs. Nick.
Vince says hello.
It's been a long time since I said hello, Mrs. Nick. So
Bringing back bringing back memories. But yeah, so 2021, that was all just kind of going down with work and get my dad settled in. And near the end of last year, and there's the dog. And
dog is back.
yeah, we have a third dog now.
Oh,
Yeah. And she's adorable. She's a white golden retriever. Called her Luna, and she is amazing. Wife loves the heck out of her.
what
Just
type of dog is she?
she's a white golden retriever.
Oh, white golden retriever.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
white golden. Beautiful dog and smart. And like most golden retrievers, if you're familiar, loves water. And she is a retriever. She'll see me every day. She'll have some sort of stuffed animal in her mouth,
Hmm.
running around. But yeah, but like at the end of the year, last year, I was like, I'm starting to get the itch again. And then I contacted you. So
Well,
there you have it.
we have an opportunity here on Friday nights, and I offered you a nice little warm seat.
I like warm seats.
There we go. At least you won't be like the fourth chair on Roll for Initiative that just kept getting replaced every
Oh
couple of
God,
years.
yeah, remember that? That was like the drummer for Spinal Tap.
We went through so many
And
different
then
co-hosts.
oh, what troop did I serve with? Oh, I was with the first of the 107th Armored, Ohio Army National Guard. I was with them. They're now the first 145th, I believe. Yeah, they were in transition to become a combined arms battalion before I got out of the guard. But yeah, first of the 107th Armored. That was
Nice.
my guard unit. So, but
Cool.
yeah, there you go. I
So
drink therefore I am.
yeah, I think we waited long enough. We got about 17 people viewing right now. So
Yeah, yeah. Let's see what. Yeah. So if you're, I guess we'll just now open it up however you want to, as far as the news.
where do we
Do we be,
start?
yeah, where do we begin on this? The
So
As I said, the 400-pound gorilla in the corner of the room.
yeah, he was. Let me bring that up so everybody can see that what he's talking about. The armored crewman from the Canadian Reserves.
Oh, no kidding. Oh, so you're on leopard tanks, probably.
You'd know. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's something you'd know.
Canadian Armed Forces, I believe, was
Mhm.
leopard tanks. Yeah.
So as we know, Wizards of the Coast leaked their 1.1 open gaming license, which
Yes.
tore through the community. I mean,
Oh God.
tore through the community. I mean, it's been what, 23 years since that license was introduced? Maybe
Yeah, I
around
think it
that,
was 2000
around
where
2000.
they had 1.0 and then 1.0A after that, but yeah, the original OGL was 2000.
And Ryan Dancy wrote that, or was one of the authors. I think he was the main,
Yeah,
considered the main author of that license agreement. And the Wizards of the Coast was doing that to allow everybody to be creative, and as long as they followed the guidelines, they could join in
yeah,
and make their own product. And a lot of companies did that. Of course, other companies did it before. Then we had Osric, obviously, that was
mhm,
before the entire mess, and that was oh, I can't remember the group that made Osric. I apologize. I could see the group on the tip of my tongue there. Whatever. The people that made Osric,
yeah,
they did that so people could create modules and everything for AD&D and
right.
stuff like that,
Yeah, I
or
think a
basic
company,
D&D.
Expeditious Retreat Press is one of them I know of. I got a few of their modules. I think they're written for Osric, and from what I understand from when talking about the OGL, Ryan Dancy said that at the time the idea was when it came to the license, he got the inspiration from the software industry when it open source software, um, which was becoming a thing back in the late '90s, early 2000s, and so he thought, well, why can't we do that with a game? So that's where they got, I guess, a lot of their his inspiration from was open source uh, uh, software applications, from what he was saying. So like things like I guess like Linux.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. But like I was saying, so Osric made us a kind of their version of an SR, and like a kind of the open gaming license before it was the open gaming license, to be honest.
Yeah.
Osric does use the open gaming license now,
Now.
but before the open gaming license was out, they actually had Osric out there for us to, I guess it was during the very, very start of the OSR, so to
Yeah, I
speak.
want to say around 2005, around there.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
And they did that so we can, and their purpose was so people could make things for Advanced Dungeons and Dragons and things like
Mhm.
that. Jeff's still having issues here. We'll try him one more time. Let's bring him in.
We'll see what happens here.
Hey
Jeff,
guys, how's it going?
there we go.
There
Hey,
we go.
you
Okay, now we hear him.
got a little bit of a delay, but we could hear you.
I'm sorry.
I'd rather have a tiny bit of a delay than a no Jeff at all.
There we
Is
go.
it because you're probably wireless?
Yes, I believe that's the case.
Actually, that might be on
That's
your
why
end
I
because I
think it's
see
starting
him
to
on
catch up
fine.
with the video now.
I see him fine on my end, so it might be on your end, Nick. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
it might be. Who knows?
Whatever.
Well,
So
if it bugs
Osric,
you too much, just kick me out. It's fine.
yeah,
Oh no, you're
we
good
will.
now. Actually, it looked like it's buffered. You're good.
All right, so back to what we're doing. Osric, blah blah blah, so you can make it. Then we have the open gaming license. Ryan Dancy did, obviously, like you said, he got inspired by the software industry. We
Yep.
have our license. Then they updated to 1.0A,
Hmm.
and it was supposed to be something, as he quoted in his article, well, in his interview, it was supposed to be something that was going to be, I guess, irrevocable, so to speak. I guess he
A
didn't word it that way at
perpetual.
the time.
Yeah, the word was perpetual,
Right.
which
He never thought that Wizards would be like, yeah, we're taking that away.
yeah. So yeah, the wording that they used was perpetual license, which I think from what it sounds like it was implied that it's irrevocable.
You would think, but
Right.
apparently it's not. So
Well,
I
is it?
don't know. I'm not a law expert here. So,
Here am I.
I mean, I found various articles and did various videos on my channel, talking about the open gaming license, talking about the law IP product and trade tabletop games. Obviously, it was just an opinion from Iowa law, which doesn't count in federal courts or probably up there in Yahoo, Washington. But
Yeah. Like in the
Wahoo,
new license.
yeah. But so anyway, let me get my screen share here. So I guess we'll start with. Hmm. We'll start with the open gaming license itself. Well, why don't we just start with that so we can take a peek at that? Let me
The
just get it.
the the new one that was proposed that was
Yeah.
leaked?
Mhm.
Okay.
So the open gaming license 1.1 intro, we have talks about Dungeons and Dragons, and it's like what? I got 15 pages, but I heard
Yeah,
it was a lot longer than that.
yeah, because apparently there is also a few pages that were clipped off because they were used for signing this agreement.
Mm,
So
yeah.
their BS story that came out of WotC saying, "No, no, no, this was just a draft." You don't put signatory pages on a freaking draft,
I mean,
okay?
you could.
You
I mean,
could, but from what I've seen from the people who, and by the way, who knew there were so many lawyers and attorneys that were gamers? Oh my god. Uh,
mhm.
I
Bunch
mean,
of
it kind of makes
nerds.
sense.
So I drink, therefore I am is saying this is probably happening to keep D&D from public domain. Well, D&D is not going to go into public domain. I
No,
mean,
because it's a brand, and it's not like the great giant black rat down there in Florida. Got to worry about going into the public domain anytime soon either.
yeah, irrevocable was not a common verbiage according to Ryan Dancy. So yeah,
Yeah,
they
that's true.
never
You said
it
that.
wasn't something that came up. So
Right, right, exactly. That's why they use the one other term, from what I understand. I guess it
I'm also
was
curious about this leak, how it's written as an actual license, and then there's like little commentary here and there on this. Like, why would they do that?
right. From what I understand, they wrote it that way so if there was whatever you were reading,
Mhm.
there was a little bit better explanation and maybe in more layman's terms, and the why behind it. Now, some of the things I don't agree with in the why, sure, but I mean, they were just the the few things that got me was one where if you dispute this license, you essentially give up your right to trial by jury, your constitutional right to trial by jury. It's trial by judge.
Yeah,
If
I
you
don't
feel like
understand.
that, if you feel like that you've been wronged by Wizards of the Coast, you can't do trial by jury. You can't a jury of your peers. You waive your right to that. It's only by a judge in King County in Washington.
Well, we all know why they did that to make it more difficult.
Really? Where's Wizards of the Coast at? Where are they? Oh yeah.
We
Seattle,
all know why.
Washington. King
Yeah.
County. Who
Mhm.
knew?
We all know why they did that to make it harder on everybody. Because if you do
Yeah.
it over there, the little guys or the littler guys from the big guys don't, you know, can't travel there. So
Right, exactly. I'm like, oh, where you gonna Skype in? Yeah.
I
Though
guess you
I
would
guess
think with
you
today's
could.
technology that they would allow things like that now.
Hey, they were doing that during the coof. So but yeah, there was that. There was I some of it almost sounds like double speak.
Where'd you see that?
Where is it? Like um as far as
Ownership. We agree that
ownership,
yeah.
that's it.
That it? Okay. I figured that's what it was. We so you agree that we own copyright, trademark, and patent rights, if any, the licensed content and the unlicensed content. We reserve all rights not expressly given to you through this agreement. You agree to include any copyright or any other right notices included with the licensed content and your licensed work. It's a
Yeah.
mouthful.
So it's like, oh, you own what you have, but we could do whatever the hell we want with it. I like to shout out over here to Joe though in the chat. He's one of my coworkers. Joe,
Oh,
nice
okay.
to see you. Welcome to the stream.
Glad to see he's here. Don't forget to hit that like button, folks.
Yes. Don't lick it though.
Yeah, don't lick
Don't
it. It
don't
doesn't taste
don't,
like
don't
pepperoni as much as
doesn't
Nick
taste like
keeps saying
pepperoni.
that.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. Doesn't taste like pepperoni.
You may not impose any additional different or inconsistent terms or conditions with respect to the license content in any license you grant to any licensed works. What?
Yeah. And then you have this thing about the different tiers
um,
and how they can, and then how much that you have to give them. Basically, it's like a tax. Was it 750,000 or more your company makes in revenue? They could basically 25 cents on the dollar after that.
they want to make sure they can get as much money as possible out of anything that you're
Yeah.
doing without them knowing about it. It's like,
Yeah. So that very next dollar after that 750K, you got to give them 25 cents on that.
I say, as soon as you get to 750K, you just give everything away for free. That
No,
way you don't have to pay them.
749,999.
There you go. And here's the other thing, which I didn't think that a company or somebody could do besides the IRS, that this allows you, that you have to, if they ask to go through your books, you have to have them, they could do it. I mean, yeah, I'm with you, Joe.
I, I'm with both of you. We're both doing that.
Bring the pitchforks and torches, damn right.
Yeah.
But I was like, I think the only, I'm like, IRS could do that, but can a private companies? It's like, hey, hey, you agreed to this. Well, let's look at the books here. Come on, give me my money.
I
Set
guess
up
you
Nah,
a
have to.
shakedown.
I guess you have to report your income to them somehow. I mean,
I
like you're
like,
saying, I
we're
don't know
not the
how.
IRS.
well, I think, like I said last week, I think they just look at your sales. They look at the amount of downloads versus the number of sales. I mean, I don't think they can, see the amount of hard copies you sell, but a soft
Right.
copy you sell. I'm pretty sure they can kind of do an estimate of what
Oh,
you sold.
whoops,
But they
sorry.
wouldn't be able to see the sales at all. Whoa, Nick, were you just in the dark there?
Sorry. Hit the wrong button. And then a
Uh,
darkness fell
yes.
when he
But
signed the agreement.
I
I
like, I
like
like,
this one.
I
You
like.
will not do anything that could harm our reputation, that of Dungeons and Dragons, or the reputation of the licensed content or the unlicensed content. For purposes of clarity, this provision does not apply to criticisms of the Wizard of the Coast, Dungeons and Dragons, or licensed content or unlicensed content that does not independently violate these provisions.
For Twitter
Okay.
prohibited, offer not available in Utah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I
You will not
mean,
attempt. I love this one. You will not attempt to circumvent or go around this agreement in any way possible. I mean,
not if I don't sign it. So I'll give him the
I
single finger salute.
I'm gonna go with Nick's interpretation of this contract. It's like the mafioso.
Yeah. Where's my money?
Hey, you trying to get around our contract? Hey, we're gonna break your legs.
We're gonna send Looney Four Fingers Joey bag of donuts over to your place and bang
Throw
bang.
Joey back of donuts.
Tony 2 times.
we know this may come off as strong, but this is important. If you attempt to use the OGL as a basis to release blatantly racist,
Oh, the
sexist,
other part.
homophobic, transphobic, bigoted, or otherwise discriminatory content, or do anything we
What
think
page are you
triggers, this is page 6.
Page 6. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Anything that
I
triggers these
right.
provisions.
Okay. Question.
Hmm.
Who defines what is racist, sexist, homophobic, and transphobic?
They do.
They do pretty much.
Yeah. Now, got a bit of a problem with that. Just saying. Because it's just they could interpret anything as bigoted.
Hmm.
I
I
mean,
like this. The addition to this. Additionally, you waive any right to sue
right.
over our decision on these issues.
Yeah, you can't sue them.
It's ridiculous. This is a ridiculous license.
It's not it's not an open game license. It's a one game license. There's nothing open about it. Gotta tell you, love the memes that have been coming out about this.
I think
I'm
someone actually.
altering the deal. Pray I don't alter it any further.
I think that the best was said that it's time to teach Wizards of the Coast they own Ford, not the entire car industry.
Oh,
Mhm.
Joe says immediate permanent boycott of all Watsy and Hasbro products. Well, you know what? That started more or less yesterday with a lot of people with their D&D Beyond accounts.
Yeah.
Unsubscribed, unsubscribed, unsubscribed.
Until the point that Watsy took that button away or tried to hide it at least.
Tried to hide it. Yes. Crashed the server.
Malaquin, it could be any flavor of the week. I
Yeah.
mean, this week is that one. Next week it could be the other thing. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
It
It's the
doesn't
flavor of the
matter.
week.
And personally, I don't care. I I got a kid that's transgender, and she's like, she understands how the world works. It's like,
Mhm.
hey, and she doesn't push it on anybody. And so what Wizards is doing here though is, it makes for getting into this license, there's a lot of ambiguity when it comes to like sections like this. It's like, who determines what is,
I mean,
bigoted?
do you go by the standard definition or you go by your personal definition?
Right. I mean, were they going to have a committee? I don't want to give them any ideas.
You must submit to the council. The council will
Yes.
decide your
Yes.
fate.
Yes.
But I mean,
But would your
I hear people call for boycotts. I'm like, you don't have to boycott them. This is a nice capitalist system. Just stop
yeah.
using them.
Oh,
Yeah.
Where
boy.
where were you gonna? I mean, let's say you were using D&D Beyond. Where are you gonna go
Right.
after this debacle? Where are you gonna go? Are you gonna go? Oh, I'm asking you, where are you gonna go?
I,
Well,
I
when we're done taking this apart, we'll have to get into the
res-
backlash, the response from the industry, from not just the third party industry players, but just the RPG community as a whole.
oh,
Which I thought,
do you want to continue along with this, or you want to go to
no,
their
we can
update?
continue on with this, but when you feel ready, then we got to go on to the response.
We also have to read their update on things as well.
Oh yes, yes, yes. The back
And they
panel.
even have a whole section here on if you get them in trouble.
Yeah. Um.
You knock on us, we're gonna break your legs.
Exactly. You tell anybody about this, we're gonna pop you.
Get
You
Joey
come,
full of donuts.
you come here to my daughter's wedding. A little bit of Godfather there for you.
Yes, I see. I see. I see. Here's your
I mean,
waiver by
am I right? Doesn't this contract sound like a one-way deal with a mob?
yeah.
Hmm.
Here's your
Jesus.
waiver of jury trial right here.
Yeah, that was on what page?
That'd be page 8. No,
Yeah, when I saw that, that was a huge red flag because you know me, I'm a very much a constitutionalist kind of guy, and I'm like, What? I can't have a trial by jury? Oh, I suspend my constitutional right. That just sounds dandy. Why don't you just, take away some more amendment? No, no, don't want to give me any ideas.
I just they should if they want to release this license, so to speak, they
Yeah.
should let the 10 was it A or whatever 10A let it stand. Don't let it revoke that too.
And,
I mean
and
it
Malaquin, you're right. It is a one-sided thing here.
yeah. I
I think I think they should just continue with this contract. If you're going to go with this contract, then you're going to fall for the pit trap. Hey, that's on you. Everyone else sees what's going on. They're going to leave.
well, that's basically what everybody is doing now at this point. People are selling their 5e stuff. People are who have made content for 5e. So we're getting into the backlash now, Nick. People who
Yes.
are people who are creating stuff have stopped creating it and it's selling whatever they have at a discount price at this point just to get rid of it.
Well,
They're
yeah.
revamping everything. And then, of course, we got the big one,
Paizo.
Paizo.
Yeah. There you go. I mean, amongst all the other like reactions within the community, either like I'll just tweak some things here, drop the OGL to like not sure what I'm gonna do. Then Paizo showed up. And I gotta
Save the
say,
day.
save the day. Two things though. One, good on them because if you read through this, I was actually surprised of who's involved with this new open resource license, aka ORC. But that and a damn good publicity stunt for them because you know what? All of a sudden they're selling stuff. They're selling Pathfinder Second Edition.
I love that Paizo says that we do not believe the OGL 1.0A can be deauthorized ever.
Yeah,
So they're backing the horse that says he can't.
yeah. It's just so you have this here. And I don't know if a lot of mob name RPGers for freedom. Good job. Yeah. Okay. That's a good
Oh,
one, Joe.
and they
But
even snuck in a discount too.
yeah, yeah. But the whole thing here, if anybody hasn't looked at it, you got to go to Paizo's website. When this was released, it jammed up their website too.
Yeah, I
Everybody was
couldn't
like,
get to it the other night.
yeah, took forever for me to load it. But when I read through this, I'm like, this is amazing. So it sounds like they're going to take the basics of OGL 1.0A and tweak it to where it's going to become this open RPG creative license. And they're not going to own it. It's going to go to some other group. They're talking about maybe giving it to the Linux Foundation as the caretaker of this license.
That is a
Who
good place to send it.
who is, if I remember correctly, they're open source too. That's what my wife uses at work. She uses Linux on her computer for work, and
Oh,
she's
is she a Linux admin or something? Or
oh she no, but she actually because she does a lot of programming, she
Mhm.
likes to work in Linux. It's just her her thing. She dreams in code. So I mean
So
it's like when I say to our thing is if it's a software problem, that's her thing. If it's a hardware problem, it's my thing. So
so they're giving 25% off a checkout of the core rulebook, the core rulebook pocket edition, and Pathfinder beginner box set. Oh, it's the second edition one. Okay.
now it was about the paragraph where they actually gave the name the bolded open RPG creative license. A little bit down that is the additional companies that are getting involved with this, in addition to Paizo, Cobalt
Oh,
Press.
Chaosium, Green
K-
Ronin.
that was the one that blew my mind, Chaosium, because they really don't have a dog in this fight. They
Yeah,
got their own system.
yeah.
They got BRP.
It's not a D100 system, isn't it?
It's kind of a well, the Call of Cthulhu 7th edition is, but BRP is still there. It's kind of a mishmash of 3D. Well, I want to say 3D6, but six-sided die rolls plus it's a skill-based system, so it's percentile for the most part. But yeah, I saw Chaosium in there, Green Ronin, Legendary Games, Rogue Genius Games, and a growing list of others. Yeah.
And here's the line you said will not be owned by Paizo,
Nope.
nor
They're
owned by any company.
nope. There, I do think that if they contact Linux Foundation, they'll
Second.
they'll be a good caretaker of this. They'll be a good caretaker of this. Now, and here's the beautiful thing because of the reaction that happened today, they don't have to rush and get this out right now.
Oh no, not at all.
They can actually take, I would guess, at least 90 days
Yeah.
to get this tweaked out. I'm guessing we're not going to see the from what Wizards put out today. It's at least 90 days out before the new OGL from them comes out. Might be even longer.
It's funny. Wizards of the Coast pretty much destroyed um, D&D with fourth edition,
Yeah,
and Paizo stepped in, grabbed
yeah.
the 3.5, and went yoink like Homer Simpson yoink.
That was 2007, 2008,
Yeah,
I think.
they stepped in with Pathfinder. First, they started just doing things for 3.5. Then they made which pretty much turned into Pathfinder 3.75 at that point. And they stepped in and pulled it out and saved fantasy for a little while from the
Yep.
mainstream. Then Wizards got pissed, decided to come back with 5th edition.
Yeah.
And here we go again. They're destroying everything all over again. And here comes Paizo stepping right in yet again.
Yeah.
Here you go,
Where's my
guys.
monies? Where's my monies?
Yeah.
Give me my monies. It's and a lot of other people did comment that it's the strategy what Wizards of the Coast has, and to a greater extent Hasbro, because that's their parent company. But Wizards has this multifaceted strategy, if you will, for the D&D brand, not just the game brand, like Disney or Marvel. They want to make it a brand because, I mean, for one, they tried to do that in the past and it failed miserably. If you're going to brand something, you got to be really careful. I mean, I think some of you might know the stories back in the, I mean, it was in the early days of TSR. They were trying to brand, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons and D&D, and how they were going to do, like Shrinky Dinks and coloring books, and some they did was it a wood burning kit?
Oh yeah.
Remember the wood burning kits back in the day? There was a D&D wood burning kit. I even heard that there might have been D&D crochet sets.
I can believe that.
Who the hell thought crochet would be a thing for? Where does that overlay? Where does that overlap?
Overzealous fans. Hey, we heard you like Dungeons and Dragons. Now you can knit Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes, you can knit. Now I remember there was even D&D beach towels. Yeah, but
if Hasbro doesn't answer to the stakeholder, in which case is the end of the user plan. They answer to the shareholder. That's true.
Yeah, that's right. They're a publicly held company. They're on the stock exchange, and one person, I forget who it was. I think it was that when Ryan Dancy was on, you were talking. There's that podcast, Roll for Combat.
Yeah,
I think
Roll for Combat.
Yep. Great show. I think he talked about where they eventually kind of pulled back the shade on where Hasbro was getting all their money over the past few years. And it was coming from Wizards of the Coast. Someone finally at the shareholders meetings were asking, so where are you getting all this funding for, like the Transformers films and G.I. Joe and whatnot? It was coming all from WotC, from Magic the Gathering and all that. So yeah, they were basically floating them. It's crazy.
So we finally did get an answer from Wizards of the Coast on the open gaming license.
Yeah, we did.
This morning they posted it up.
I call it the back pedal of all back pedals.
You've read it. You just told me about this before the show. So what is the highlight of this that I can read here?
Well, I think a good way to put this is I was on a forum board, actually the RPG site. I'm on their forum for
Pundy site.
Yeah, Pundy's site.
Yeah, okay.
And somebody on there called the Leopold kind of broke down this and gave a rebuttal. And I love this. So like, first we wanted the ability to prevent the use of D&D content from being included in hateful and discriminatory products. Leopold says, second sentence, and they're already gaslighting. I'm like, oh, this is going to be good. This guy's got a great breakdown. And then he's like, and quote, Second, we wanted to address the attempting to use D&D and Web3 blockchain games NFTs by making it clear that OGL content is limited to tabletop role-playing content like campaigns, modules, and supplements. Leopold is like Web3 buzzword nebulous, blockchain game buzzword nebulous application, NFT buzzword dead application. He's right. Shall I continue?
Please.
Okay. And third, quote, and third, we wanted to ensure that the OGL is for the content creator, the home brewer, the aspiring designer, our players, and the community, not major corporations to use for their own commercial and promotional purpose. Translation: it's okay for the little guy to make stuff, but anyone making a considerable amount of cash, you effing better pay us.
Yeah.
I
Pretty
don't know
much.
what the stream is as far as rating here. So I don't know if I'm
Uh,
allowed to throw F bombs.
you can F bomb. It's fine. Just as long as it's not
Okay,
every other word. I mean,
gotcha. Okay, just making sure. We'll make it PG-13.
okay.
Quote, driving these goals were two simple principles. One, our job is to be good stewards of the game. And two, the OGL exists for the benefit of our fans. Nothing about those principles have wavered for a second.
Sure.
Rebuttal:
Oh
one,
God.
liar and false. Two, no, it was not designed for anyone who wanted to write for D&D to do so and sell their works if they should choose to do so. A half-truth. Quote, this is why our early drafts of the new OGL include the provisions they did. The draft language was provided to content creators and publishers so their feedback could be considered before anything was finalized. Rebuttal: false again, as you don't sign draft contracts, expect them to be taken into law. OGL 1.1 was set to go into effect as is. I tend to agree.
Yeah.
Quote, in addition to language allowing for us to address discriminatory and hateful conduct and clarifying what types of products the OGL covers, our drafts included royalty language designed to apply to large corporations attempt to use OGL content. It was never our intent to impact the vast majority of the community.
Uh,
Well, they
Again,
failed at that real fast.
yeah, here and our buddy the Leopold says again with the gaslighting and morality police. Now
mm,
they've gone from only 20 companies to large corporations. Also, considering the vast majority of the community falls between the 50 and 750K range, that is a significant chunk of people. However, it's clear from the reaction that we rolled a one.
no shit.
Leopold's like, insert that meme here. It has become clear that it is no longer possible to fully achieve all three goals while still staying true to our principles. You mean we found out that you were going to fuck the community over in pursuit of getting extra ROI percentage points? Why not be honest with us here? The next OGL will contain the provisions that allow us to protect and cultivate the inclusive environment. Inclusive environment we're trying to build and specify that it covers all content for TTRPGs. OGL 1.0A does that already.
It really does.
Yeah, exactly. Quote, that means that other expressions such as educational and charitable campaigns, live streams, cosplay, VTT uses, etc., will remain unaffected by any OGL update. Content already released under 1.0A will always remain unaffected. OGL 1.0A does already that at 1/10 the word count. Oh, what it will not contain is any royalty structure. Here starts the walk back attempt in damage control.
Yep.
Now.
Now, quote, it will also include the license back provision that some people were afraid was a means for us to steal work. That thought never crossed our minds.
No.
Oh no, never.
No, Watsy, you never thought of it as stealing. only being able
It's
to
never
take
stealing if it's their product, right?
right, only being able to take popular content and use it for free forever without paying the creators or acknowledging them.
Yeah.
You wanted the community to build your VTT platform's content for free. Let that sink in. They wanted everybody to do the work.
Because they couldn't get it
Mhm.
done themselves after
Right.
20 years of trying.
Well,
Yeah.
after hiring all these college kids that been programmed to think a certain way, yeah, they tend to run out of ideas real fast.
Because it's funny that we could go back to the very original OGL when it was, for, what they did with third edition and 3.5 D&D, how it seemed like a lot of the good content creators, if you will, the people creating adventures or modules or what have you, supplements, they tend to jump ship and do their own thing.
Hmm.
You notice that?
Oh
Because
yeah.
maybe they didn't like their corporate structure. Hmm, I
Mhm.
don't know. Um, let's see. Under any new OGL, you will own the content you create. We won't.
That's not what they said.
Right. Any language we put down will be crystal clear and unequivocal on that point. OGL 1.8 does that already.
It does.
Yeah, it already does. The license back language was intended to protect us and our partners from creators who incorrectly allege that we steal their work simply because of coincidental similarities. Now, hold on a second. Now they're trying to make themselves like they're the good guys. We're here to protect you.
Oh, yeah, sure. Not anywhere at all.
Yeah, and our guy here, Leopold, that's called trademark infringement and can be settled in court. Also, 1.0a does this already. If you use the content, you must attribute the creator, and no one could get sue happy. Yeah. As we continue to invest in the game that we love and move forward with partnership in film, television, and digital games, remember the whole triad, the whole thing that they want to do. They want to make a brand.
Mhm.
The risk is simply too great to ignore. The new OGL will contain provisions to address that risk, but will do it without a license back and without suggesting we have rights to the content you create. Your ideas and imagination are what makes the game special, and that belongs to you. How can you make a D&D movie and use the trademark and not be sued? OGL does not allow the use of the D&D logo in any shape or form.
Mhm.
This is the heart of the issue in how they can protect the brand and use it for a Netflix show. Oh, by the way, anybody know there's going to be a D&D series that's going to
We'll
be on
we'll we'll
Paramount?
we'll we'll get just finish up this, Nick. We'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
Stop jumping so far
Nick's ready to
ahead.
go. Nick's got these topics. He's ready to go.
Okay. A couple of last thoughts. First, we won't be able to release the new OGL today because we need to make sure we get it right, but it's coming. Good luck with that leaking submarine you call a company, and anything coming out will now be scrutinized 16 ways to Sunday. Yeah, good luck. The
I like how that
genie,
submarine used to be a ship.
yeah, that the genie's left the bottle. Second,
Mhm.
we're going to hear people say that they won and we lost because making your voices heard forced us to change our plans. Those people will only be half right. They won, and so did we.
No.
Yeah,
Oh,
nice, pompous, and smug backhanded compliment you gave yourself, Watsy. Whichever lawyer and marketing schlep wrote that, you better fire them for sheer hubris. Now is the time to be humble instead of arrogant. Another one on your diplomacy check.
yeah.
Our plan was always to solicit the input of our community for any update to the OGL.
Right,
The
sure.
drafts, the drafts you've seen were attempting to do just that.
So they leak their own drafts just to see what the people would
Yeah,
say?
right.
Bullshit.
Yeah, bullshit.
Bullshit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't use drafts for contracts if we determined. All right, last thing. We want to always delight fans and create experiences together that everyone loves. Play the music. We realize that we don't do this at the time. We are sorry for that. We're sorry. Our goal was to get exactly the type of feedback on what provisions worked and which did not, which we ultimately got from you. Any change this major could only have been done well if we were willing to take that feedback, no matter how it was provided. So we are. Thank you for caring enough to let us know what works and what doesn't, what you need and what scares you. How,
Yeah.
yeah, who scares you? Yeah, fucking terrifying thing. Without knowing that, we can't do our part to make the new OGL match our principles. Finally, we appreciate the chance to make this right. We love D&D's devoted players. No, you don't. And the creator we take them and the creators who take them on so many incredible adventures. We won't let you down. A community feedback forum with a draft of the OGL could have gone a long way into preventing this shit show. Hiding all this behind scenes with lawyer speak and NDAs BS has shown WotC is a terrible steward and does not have the interests of the players at heart, only their own corporate greed. I give this a 4 out of 10 on the damage control meter. They tried, but better to put more points in persuasion next level. The
Well,
end.
we already know that they're lying. I mean, come on.
Oh, the
They're
the
what-
I was just going to say that he used a perfect term here, word, hubris. As anybody knows, Greek term for excessive pride, thinking you're better than everybody else. Yeah, factors in here 100%.
I think it's more or less victim apologizing.
Oh yeah,
Sorry,
they're
I'm
making
sorry you feel that way.
yeah, yeah. They're making
So,
themselves like they're like they're the ones that are coming to, to help us out and
Yeah,
make things better. Well,
we'll change
um,
our ways to benefit you.
mhm. Yeah, what a bunch of BS.
let's
I
not forget
never yeah.
the leaked letter that came out.
Oh yeah, go over that, Vince. This was good. Oof.
This is one of the leaked letters that came out from one of the employees. Hi, I'm an employee at Wizards of the Coast working on D&D Beyond with D&D business leaders on the health and product of the line. If you want to provide proof to this. I'm not where did this email who was he addressing exactly originally for this cuz you sent this to me.
I'm I was on that Roll for Combat podcast. They
Oh,
had a
okay.
link to it, and I downloaded it, and they were able to verify through their sources, as indicated in here, to like get an individual confirmation. Yes, it was verified. This person does work at Wizards of the Coast.
Okay. I'm sending this message because I fear for the health of the community I love, and I know what the leaders of WotC are looking at. They are briefly delaying the rollout of the OGL changes due to the backlash. Well, there is our answer. We just got our little update because they were scared. The decision making is based entirely on probable impact on their bottom line. Specifically, they are looking at the DDB subscription and cancellations as is the quickest financial data they currently have. Well, I'm sure they had a lot to look at with all those cancellations happening all at once.
Remember, crash the server.
Yeah. Jeez. They are still hoping the community forgets, moves on, and they could. No one's gonna forget. What are we like a lemming or something, or like an etch a sketch? Oh, well,
Yeah,
Goldfish.
and it was this letter, and you'll get to it where what he
yeah.
says that
I've
about the
decided to reach.
DB.
Yeah, I've decided to reach out because at my time in watching, I've never once heard management refer to customers in a positive manner. Their communication gives me the impression they see the customers as obstacles between them and their money. This is Mr. Burns. All of a sudden, I mean,
Excellent. Yes.
excellent, yes. The D&D Beyond team was
Prisoners,
first
release the hounds.
was first told to prepare to support the new OGL changes and online portal when they got back from the holidays. And leadership doesn't take any responsibility for the pain and stress they cause others. Wow. Whew. Leadership's first communication to the rank and file on the OGL was 30 minutes on 1/11/23. This was the first time they even tried to communicate their intentions about the OGL to the employees. And even in the meeting, they blamed the community for overreacting.
Yeah.
I will
Really?
repeat the main thing leadership is looking at is daily need to be on subscriptions and cancellations. Hope all your day goes well. P.S. I will be copying and pasting this message to other community leaders. So all they basically give a shit is about is money.
Right. And it was from this letter, this, from what I understand, uh, lit the fire for everybody to quit their accounts at D&D Beyond. And Elfbait right here in the chat brought up a really good point. He's absolutely right. We're not like most gamers are not like your normal rabble. We're not we're not we're nerds, we're geeks. We're different. We're just built that way. We're wired differently. We don't just forgive and forget on stuff like this.
No.
Oh no. Oh no. Nay, 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 sir. You will rue the day that you have messed with a rules lawyer. Literally.
Yeah,
People who
really.
are lawyers, who are who are gamers, have ruled on this thing. I I have never seen so many websites. In fact, the one guy who did his dissertation on the original OGL, um, I think he was invited on Roll for Combat,
Hmm.
and he's like, I never realized that after this, boy, did the counts go up on my website. I'm like, you think? But yeah, it. What were they thinking to think that we would just? Oh, it's fine. Okay, we'll just forget about it. Well, they really don't know who they're dealing with, do they?
They don't know their customers too well.
No, that
Like I said,
because
they're a bunch of college kids, though.
we're obstacles to their revenue streams, apparently.
Yeah.
And don't forget, they're not just talking about us who might just be buyers of their product. They're talking about also third party people who actually
Mm.
produce content, because this is a lot of it who was directed against guys um like Paizo or Green Ronin or whoever that makes content under the existing OGL. They feel like they're getting shafted somehow.
Yeah, losing out on money. Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty much.
revenue stream. And it's not like I've seen Wizards of the Coast, on on the on the corner with a cup in their hand asking for a handout. I mean,
with
come
their
on.
with their MST3K cup, right?
Yeah, okay. By the way, I was a supporter of their new thing there because they're way better not being on Netflix. But anyway,
Oh
but
yeah, the new whole studio thing. Yeah,
yeah,
it's a lot.
yeah.
It is a lot better now.
As
Yeah.
a side note, yeah, much better that they got away from Netflix. But yeah, there's yeah, Wizard on the Call and Tim Cut asking for a handout. Oh, we're so poor. Please help
Yeah,
us. Help
they're
me.
so poor. Yeah,
Oh
totally.
yes. We only made $1 billion. What am I going to do?
Please, sir, another $1 billion.
I can't afford my condo in Cancun. What am I going to do?
Think of my Lambos.
Oh, yes. I only have 3. God. Yes, and don't forget to hit that like button.
Thank you. As a
Don't lick it.
sponsor from Nick.
Don't lick it.
Don't forget to
Into-
like that hit button.
Like the hit
Yes.
button. But yeah, and that sparked this whole thing about canceling the D&D Beyond accounts, the subscriptions, because from what I think what he said there was that's the instant way that they could
Yeah.
see that people are upset, that they're pissed.
Yeah.
They could see those numbers immediately.
Well,
So
they
they
sure
don't know.
showed them this week.
They won't have to wait the next quarter to see what happened as far as those subscriptions. And again, so I forget which podcast it was. I've watched so many over the past week, listened to so many because of this.
Yeah.
I don't know how the hell I got any work done at work, but
I don't know, Nick.
I still did. At least it looked like I did.
We
But
won't tell. We won't
good.
tell.
Earbuds in, and I'm walking around doing my thing. But someone brought up the fact that I lost my train of thought. I lost my train of thought. Train of thought got derailed. Where was I going with this?
I'm sorry, Elf. I'm sorry they did that to you.
No, I lost my train of thought. Oh, okay, Joe. Yeah, I do. I'm over in QA this time. I'm helping them out.
That's right. You have a coworker there.
Joe kills me. He's an old school gamer. Like he does a lot with Starship Troopers. because
Space
indeed
turd.
they just farted away to convert it to the OSR. Nice. And actually talking OSR, there was another thing that apparently nobody, when it came to the open gaming license when it was created, um, anticipated the retro clone thing happening, the OSR thing. Which is
Damn.
yes, very interesting in that regard because I don't know if this is true or not. This is what I've heard, but because a lot of the retro clones are based off of BX or BCMI or first edition or second edition AD, whatever it is, those were before the OGL.
Yeah.
Did they really need it? If you're basing it, I don't think so. It sounds like from what there was a lawyer. He did say don't you know don't. This is my opinion, but I think, far as the OSR is concerned, they're fine. They don't have to worry about anything because you're basing it off of over different rule sets, which was prior to the OGL coming in 2000. So, and we all know, I'm sure most of you already found out, even in the chat, that when it comes to game mechanics, you can't copyright game mechanics. U.S. courts ruled on that years ago. With
Right.
and that's hence all of the Monopoly clones that showed up. I got a few in my closet. Star Wars Monopoly and Las Vegas Monopoly. so yeah, I think if like I follow the OSR too, along with all the other independent games out there like Palladium and what have you. And I think the OSR is going to be fine. I think even Goodman Games said, yeah, we're good. Our system's fine. We don't really have to tweak anything. We just yoink the OGL out of it. We're good.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So I think it's just a matter of like taking that license out. I mean, I guess if you want to feel safe, if this new one from Paizo comes out, maybe you could throw it in the back of your throw it in the back of your book if you have to. But I don't. As far as OSR, it sounds like and they're small potatoes. OSR. That's not who Wizards is going to go after. They're going after Paizo and Green Ronin and God knows how. Yeah, even the guys at Castles and Crusades who make that game. They said they're fine. There was it called the Siege Engine. Their game set is so diversified from the OGL that they're fine. They're moving on. So yeah, uh, I think overall this is going to be a good thing because people are saying we don't need you, Watsy. We don't need you. You need
Well,
us.
Elfbait was right. D&D Beyond was an incredibly useful app for online gaming. Absolutely.
Sure. I never used it, but
It is a good tool. I used it in the
okay.
beginning when I started playing 5e for a little while.
Right.
And
I
it's a
played
great
one game.
tool to use for online.
Yeah. But now this whole thing has left such a terrible taste in everybody's mouth because Watsy took a shit in it. Uh
Then tried to walk it back.
and tried
I got
yeah,
a
and
question for you
tried to
guys.
take that turn back out. But I can't tell you how many people I've seen online saying, I'm going to Pathfinder. I'm going to this. I'm going to this other game. Yeah. They did not know who they were dealing with, did they? No. Those shareholders. What a bunch of loons.
I have a question for you guys.
Mhm.
With this, what was it? OGL? What was
Yeah.
it again?
Yeah.
This
Open.
OGL.
Yeah.
Does that end does this mark the end of an era? Now, you guys are OSR fans. The ending of this era, would that mean that fifth edition is now OSR?
No,
No.
not even
No.
close.
You don't think
No,
so?
not even close. No.
You don't think
No.
this is a breaking point where this could be the end of start of a new?
No.
That one's for you, Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff.
Oh, she's a She's a multi-shepherd mix.
Yeah, 3.5 is an OSR. Yeah, OSR is not just
It's pre-2000 pretty much.
yeah, pretty much pre-2000, with the retro clones like Osric you were talking about, Vince, and Swords and Wizardry, Labyrinth Lord, all the retro clones that came out.
But to be
Basically look
but to be
yeah.
fair, OSR is also philosophy too.
Yes, absolutely. What do we always say? Rulings, not rules. Rulings, not rules.
See, Elfbait even just typed it right in there as I said it too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He,
it's a state of mind.
yeah. Elfbait knows.
Yeah. And that's why you see, I don't know how many people, but it seems like a significant portion of the RPG community has, gotten into things like was it Old School Essentials books, and kind of like that play style, just kind of a crunchy game system that's very unforgiving. 0 hit points, you're dead. Too bad, your character's dead. What? There's no negative 10 hit points, and I can't do a resusc. No, he's dead.
He's dead.
He's dead. He's dead, Jim.
Oh,
That's why
Nick.
I always love the Dungeon Crawl Classics character funnel. You start with a whole bunch of literally butcher, baker, candlestick maker, and see who survives the first adventure. That's your character.
I have to say, Nick, I have a request. It's been too long. I haven't heard your Christopher Walken.
Well, he's been out for a while.
That's for the RFI fans out there.
It's nuts. It's crazy. Wizards of the Coast shot themselves in the foot. And then in the balls. And kept pulling the trigger. Wow.
Thank you very much.
Oh, sure.
For that.
Hey.
Christopher Walken. Old.
Yes. Not bad. Not bad.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
somebody else could show up too, Hey,
oh no. Oh no, Mr. President. How you doing, Mr. President?
I'm doing just fine. It's terrific listening in the chat. Just listening around, It's terrific, wonderful thing here, the crazy Watsy people trying to do their thing.
I like how he even does the facial expressions too.
Yeah. It's the only way I could do it. Buggy bumpers.
Oh yeah, well, Mr. President, why don't you sit
I
back?
Could show up here, I have the former governor.
Wow, everybody's
that's
just
how you doing,
tonight. Yeah.
This the coast thing's crazy. I don't know. I don't understand the thing. I just go for the native thing with the. Never mind.
So let's get to the final thing that's on our header of the night.
The
thing that snuck by everybody because of the OGL disaster. Dungeons and Dragons TV show.
Yeah.
At Paramount Plus.
Yeah, I think that was announced. I want to say, yeah. It was like Tuesday or Wednesday.
So let me break this down here. Paramount Plus is working on a high-budget live-action TV adaptation based on Dungeons and Dragons series. According to the company, the series will debut in an 8-episode season and star some major talent. Really. Rawson Marshall Thurber is set to write and direct the first episode, which is now currently in early production. He worked on Netflix Red Notice. If it's in early production, that means they already have a cast?
I guess so. And
no, cast.
And impressions are covered by the OGL, Joe.
They're not owned by Dungeons and Dragons.
No.
As far as we know.
Deadline reports that Dungeons and Dragons show reportedly had interest from multiple buyers, and Paramount Plus secured the rights after multiple attempts. The streaming service aims to produce the geek content for the masses. We have already seen this in its Halo TV adaptation, which it was absolutely atrocious.
Oh God, that thing was a train wreck and a half.
They changed it around. The graphics were awful. The CGI was just completely awful.
They did Master Chief so wrong.
Well, you didn't like the Master Chief butt?
No. And here's the
No.
thing, I never really played the Halo games at all. I was familiar with them. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna hear about this series, and I know about Halo and the whole lore behind it.
Screw
But
you, space turd. Screw you. They're not going to
just
hire the Wayne
just
brothers again.
I want
oh
them to
god.
have the Wayne's brothers. That
Oh god,
that
no,
was awesome.
not that again, please no.
Actually, I think that would make a better D&D movie if they actually were to
You,
bring
you
on
want
the Wayne's brothers.
you want to see snails back again?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
The
want to see
thing is,
snails?
look at the very first two scary movies, how great they were, and then after they got rid of the Wayne's brothers, it just went downhill. I think a lot of bit of comedy would be great in the D&D
Oh,
show or
because it
movie.
worked out so well for that movie with him in it, right? Right.
You
Which
see,
one?
The
someone said
first
that,
one.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now, Elpe said in the chat here that D&D is something you can't make into a movie or a TV series. I disagree. I think you can. You just got to get the right people to do it, and who
Um,
are familiar with the lore. It's just, I
may
think
I
you
may I
can.
present Mythica as the perfect example? That remember that movie?
Mythica.
Yeah.
Never watched it.
No.
For me, I'll find that in a second. But it was the you never seen Mythica? I thought everyone saw that.
No.
It was like the most D&D movie without actually paying for D&D rights.
Now, the most gamer D&D sort of movie I thought was Your Highness. That's a lot like my gaming group, but
Yeah, it was
Jeremy
a
Irons
five
overacts every movie.
it was a five
Mythica,
movie
huh?
series. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, Kevin Sorbo was in them, well, guest starred in most of them.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out then.
The first one absolutely was great.
Okay.
I mean, it was basically a D&D movie with the serial numbers filed off. I loved it. It was
Really?
cheesy, it was corny, but it's what you expect. And then they got into more of the movies and it was just kind of went downhill. And of course, Matt Mercer joined in on it, and
Yeah.
that's the end of
Now,
that. So
in a perfect world, if they were gonna do a D&D movie or a TV series, I mean, you would use. I mean, personally, I would love it if they used World of Greyhawk, but that would never happen. Uh,
it's not diverse
Forgotten.
enough.
No, apparently not. Forgotten Realms. Okay, maybe. So I have no idea what the world is going to be for this. I don't think anybody does. The world of Generica. I mean,
Of
oh yeah, and Space Turd. Yeah, Michael Ironside. Roll his ass out. He'll go. He'll do it.
of corporate Obtania.
I'm just surprised that the movie who's in it, they actually got some big name actors, and I'm just,
Yeah, he's
you
right. The
know,
best D&D movie and TV show is the one that is not made as D&D.
right. You can't force you can't force it. I don't know how any other way to describe that say it's like you just can't force it. You just gotta
Ugh.
just write it as a fantasy.
I
Ugh.
think the best D&D movies would be when it's not taking itself too seriously. Like when it's
Yeah.
trying to be a fantasy.
Oh,
I think those are the worst. But I think the best would be when it's surreal and satirical, just like most D&D
Hmm.
campaigns are.
Yeah.
How many times do you goof around in your campaign just to have fun?
My group does it all the time, too much to my chagrin. Oh,
I mean, Chris, I mean, we do it in our group all the time. I mean, so
Yeah, exactly. You can't. At best, D&D movie would be a D&D movie that does not take itself seriously.
Hawk the Slayer. Yes, I'm right with you, Elfbait. And Space Dirt. I'd like to see the D&D show set in a high school where a cute tiefling is petitioning to get wheelchair accessible.
you want to
Uh,
you want a D&D show that doesn't take itself seriously? That was pretty much not a D&D show. Here you go.
yeah,
Crodman Dune and the Flaming Sword of Fire.
I remember that one. Yes, You're right. Oh, I remember watching it. I'm like, that is so like my gaming group. And there was another one, like I said, Your Highness. I don't know if
Oh
you've
yeah,
seen that one.
yeah, I have seen that one.
Yeah, it's so bad it's good. It's-
This was basically a goofy D&D group right here itself.
yeah. Oh yeah. I remember that show. I thought it was great.
It just never took off.
It never did. No, no. That was early 2000s, I think.
2009.
Yeah, okay. It was just
It,
after the Lord of the Rings craze.
Kevin Hart was in it.
Holy shit, I totally forgot about it. He was in it. I gotta watch that again.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I gotta
It
watch that
was
again.
it was just so bad that they never actually aired the last couple of episodes. Like
Oh, I got
ratings wise bad. But the show I loved it. Me and my wife watched it. We laughed at it every time we saw an episode.
yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna Crodman Dune. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then you have another kind of let me try to find that for you. Another kind of D&D like show, but was more musical wise. Gallivant. I don't know
Yeah.
if you've ever seen Gallivant. That
Gallivant.
was
Oh,
hysterically funny. This show.
okay.
It has a lot of singing and
Ring of
dancing in it because
Fire.
they
So it's kind of a musical?
they kind of went that whole um uh, little, I can't think of the stupid. Uh,
Yes,
uh,
I drink, therefore I am. I loved the movie Crawl. Fire Mirrors and Glaives. Movie Crawl. I love that movie. That it was like a hey, you guys seen Crawl?
movie crawl, yeah.
Yeah, it was such a weird sci-fi fantasy mix. Loved it, and I've never seen Rain of Fire. I gotta admit, I have not seen it.
It was a pretty good movie.
Yeah,
Too bad it got overshadowed by another movie.
yeah,
But
I know it's like a weird post-apocalyptic thing, and dragons come back.
Yeah, dragons come back, post-apocalyptic. Yeah.
think
Okay.
of the Gallivant show as a mix between watching Crodman Dune, a D&D movie, and the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, I'm sold. I'm there.
It really it has good acting and it has good production value. I'm really
Uh-huh.
surprised that ABC canceled it. It had a lot of followings.
Yeah, Rain of Fire. The what's his name? Matthew McConaughey was in that,
Yes.
wasn't he? Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. All right. It's cool, man. It's cool. Yeah, slave
Gotta
feed
kill
dragon.
those dragons, man.
Yes, slave feed dragons here. And it's cool, man. It's cool. All
So
right.
the Paramount show is just getting on its way, and we hope that they're hoping that they have the same spectacular values as seen in the latest fantasy series, The Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, which is the most fucking boring show ever. Have you seen
Yes.
that, Nick?
I tried,
I once the
and
once the 15 minutes of that first episode was over when they were fighting, when the elves were fighting in the caves, I was like, this is awesome. And then
the
they got
fact,
into like introducing all
yeah,
the people. I was just like, yeah, click by.
and they made Galadriel the most unlikable character in the whole effing series.
Yeah.
I could not get through the first episode. I just like, what is this? Um, there's was it Nerdrotic on YouTube? You know, they've lambasted this show, and just knowing the background behind it of how they basically took Tolkien's works and wiped their asses with it. I just couldn't believe the again the sheer amount of hubris Amazon did. Um, but yeah, I couldn't get through an episode. It was just, and they're locked in for 5 seasons.
Wow.
The next season won't be till 2024. So they're locked in for 5 seasons. And then my wife says, I wonder why my Amazon stock has gone down. I said, well, let me tell you. She doesn't believe me. It was one show did that. I'm like, it didn't help. Oh, and Space Turd, I loved Gorgoth of Barbaria. I actually petitioned Adult Swim to try to bring that show back.
Oh,
The
Korgoth. Yeah, Korgoth is
Korgoth the
awesome.
Barbarian. Oh my god, that was so cool. I am Specules.
So your name is Dentner/Cinnamon now? Are you a
Yeah.
stripper on the side, Jeff?
Uh,
What?
no, no.
Then I want to be called Sapphire.
Well,
Okay, Sapphire. Another dog back there.
I
yeah,
see what you're saying.
yeah. There's when the whole Rings of Power thing. When I was following what they were doing with it, I just like, okay, I'll try one episode, and I'm like, oh, it's just I feel sorry for J.R.R. Tolkien. And you notice all the other crap that they threw into the show. They waited until Christopher Tolkien was dead, and then they made their moves
Yep, pretty much.
because he was the gatekeeper to that whole estate, and very sad. So I'm going to check out that show that you recommended, Vince. That movie series. What was it called again? Mythica.
Yeah, Mythica.
Myth-
And you want to
Mythica.
check out Gallivant too, so
Okay, Mythica Gallivant. I vaguely remember Gallivant.
I wish
So
I could play the promo for it because I don't think sound picked up on here for some reason.
okay, but yeah, Gallivant, and then I better make a note of that because I'll forget. Paper, pen, things. I'll
I
write
see
it
it.
in blood.
Let me see if I can get it to actually do it. I don't know if it actually does sound or not.
Oh wait a minute,
I
I
would
could put it on my phone. I can.
see here. I don't know if it does. Can you guys hear this? Do you hear anything?
No, no, nothing. Everything just froze. Vince, you froze up.
Yep. He froze himself up.
Can you hear? Yeah, and that's all we got. Uh-oh.
Yep. No, we're back now. Okay.
Yeah.
This is down bottom.
Yeah, you know what happens? It freezes everything. Froze you
Yeah.
up.
Did you even get to hear anything? Because I wasn't even sure if
Nothing.
it went through.
Nothing. It
Nah.
just as soon as it started to stream it,
You're
it
just gonna have to
froze up.
tweet that out.
It froze up your end of the feed.
Yeah.
So,
I don't. Sometimes it does that. Oh well.
need more bandwidth.
I have plenty of bandwidth. Just sometimes it's this site.
Ah.
I
Okay,
may try to go to the other one eventually.
As a side note, because it just kind of left into my head where we're talking about like now kind of like movies.
Space turd.
Yeah, or Harry Cavill, Warhammer 40K. What do you think?
Yes.
I think it'd be awesome. I think it's going to be great because I guess he's going to be executive producer and he's going to star in it. So is he going to be the emperor or
Yeah, I would
know.
laugh I would laugh if he made Donald Trump the emperor in that show.
oh, God, that would be too funny. Oh, I
But
can't.
yeah, I think a person, a producer, a director who loves, you know, their product that they want to produce, loves the lore and loves the whole
Yeah,
concept of it. I think
I mean he's an avid Warhammer 40K player.
yeah, I think it would be a great idea for him to be producer of
Yeah,
that.
I mean, hey, you know what? Warner Brothers screwed him over.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
not
tossing
just
him out,
Warner
not playing,
Brothers
not to be Superman anymore, which was a dumb move.
and Netflix too, right?
Because I was hoping so much that I would see him up there with Shazam and see if we could actually test and see if one of Superman's weaknesses is magic. So, so we'll never get to see that. But yeah, I think it'll be kind of cool. At least he's going to try. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, Elfbait. I mean, he just said that he wants to do a 40K film, and after that, don't know. Have no idea.
I mean, the guy has enough money; he can start producing his own films and
Yeah,
series and whatnot.
it's still in the obviously it's still in the very very early stages, but
The talking stage, yeah.
yeah.
I think we're gonna have to end the stream tonight, so because we're having
Oh yeah.
some technical issues, but we think we've
Oh,
gone
no
over
problem.
everything.
I think so too.
Nick will be back next week for another show with me and the Jeff.
Yep.
So we're
I'll,
gonna
I'll be
sign
back.
out.
I don't know about cinnamon.
Sure. All right, we'll talk to you guys next week. Don't forget to like and comment in the video if you're watching the replay, and let everybody know. Welcome back, Nick.
Welcome back, Nick.
Oh, also before we sign off, if I might make an announcement, I'll be on another show Wednesday.
Mhm.
Overlord DVD, Dictor Van
Yeah.
Doomcock. I'll be discussing this whole thing next Wednesday. I believe it'll be like around 8 o'clock.
Okay.
So definitely join in.
Cool. All right. Good night.